Hey everyone, I'm Tiffany, and I wanted to make a brief video to explain to people who may be non believers or who may be new to belief in Christ. Um, I wanted to make a quick video explaining sin and the nature of sin. Um, for many people who struggle with spiritually discerning the word, um, you hear often from a lot of people asking, well, God gave us all of these natural urges. So you mean to tell me he sabotaged us by giving us all these natural urges for sexual pleasure, so on and so forth? But when we exercise those pleasures, they're called sin? Why would he sabotage us like this? Why would he set us up to have all of these natural urges and desires that once we fulfill them, we end up sinning? That's not fair. But it has to be explained in a familial context. You have to understand that our Father in heaven is equivalent to our parent, particularly when we actually become children of God, which denotes a relationship. So here's what you have to get. Sin, in its essence, in its very nature, is destructive. Okay? Satan has inverted this world. So everything that is against God sits at the top of the food chain. Everything that is for our Father in heaven and for Christ sits at the bottom of the food chain in this world. And there's a lot of deception. Many people that we believe are chosen and are stewards of the faith are actually deceivers. That's one thing that we have to understand. And so there is an inversion going on when it comes to sin, because we believe that sin is freedom. We believe that following our natural urges has something to do with freedom. But in all actuality, sin is bondage, and sin is a lie and a deception. I'll give you a good example. Say you have, a child in daycare, and your child's playing with some toy just during playtime, just having a great time, woohoo! And all of a sudden, some other kid comes by and snatches up that toy that they were playing with, right? So then your kid decides, I'm angry, I'm going over there and I'm gonna knock this kid out, I'm gonna hit this kid and take the toy back, and that's how I'm gonna resolve this issue. We've all done it, all right? Would you say to your child, well, that was how you felt, that was a natural urge, and it's gonna be all right? Or would you reprimand your child? Would you tell them, listen, that is not the way that we resolve our problems. We don't hit, we don't violate someone else's body, we don't harm anyone. We learn how to resolve things peacefully, and that's what we do in this family. Okay? Being a child of God means that you actually have a relationship with God, that you are trusting of God, because you understand that the nature of sin is a destructive one. So regardless as to what the world tells you about the freedom of certain sins, for instance, lust. Okay, lust is a big one. It's probably the biggest one we come to. It fills us with so much shame when we talk about it and when we think about it. But in all actuality, lust feels great at the time. The word says that sin is always pleasurable for a season. But then you have to look at the consequences of unrepentant, uncontrolled lust in the world. We're looking at huge cases coming across right now where we're seeing child pedophilia rings being busted up. We're seeing children hurt, male or female. We're seeing women and men hurt all across the world due to uncontrolled lust. We're seeing broken up families. We're seeing so many people hurt because of uncontrolled lust. Ironically, if we were to just control our lusts, have self-discipline, and um, and uh, and keep our sexual urges within our marriages and as a covenant and a bond between a man and a woman, so many people wouldn't be hurting right now. Same thing with gluttony. Same thing with a lot of different sins. All right, we all love food. Food is great. I mean, I